welcome to the Daily Dragonfly. Today we are continuing our fun little lotus and dragonfly painting. And yesterday you saw how just one color can transform a painting, which I think is so incredibly magical. And now today we're going to go in and zhuzh up the lotus and the dragonflies themselves. So let's get started, and thanks for joining. Grab a little of my magenta, a little white, mix a little pink here. Maybe a little yellow in there, a little orangey. Okay, I think I want a little more yellow, a little less pink. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Bring some of that yellow back in there. I'm going to lighten that up. So I already changed my mind. I went from there, I was going to go in with pink, and now I think I'm just going to go in with some yellows. And lighten this lotus flower up. Just give it a little glow underneath that pretty little dragonfly. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the inside of that dark line that I did on the outside. I'm going to go ahead and just put a light color, right, of that yellow and pink over that. There we go. And I like to change the direction of my brush strokes just to add more interest. I'm going to add a little bright yellow up at the top. That's where you get more light to the top of this lotus, so that's what we're going to do. And we're going to go ahead and go underneath. And we'll kind of redo some of these dragonflies a little bit. I'm going to leave some of these a little alone a bit. Just kind of doing what I feel, so, you know, what I think looks good. What I like. And get rid of some of those heavy black outlines. And I don't mind them showing through. I think that adds some fun differentiation. But as you can see, the black is still showing through there. So you can do an outline. You can start, like we started, this was in a painting that already existed. And now I'm just kind of zhuzhing it up, changing a little. And I'm having a lot of fun doing that. So what I want to do now is I'm just going to let that dry. I think I might zhuzh up this a little bit. I'm going to add a little light green here and there. So I got a little green here. And I'm going to go in here and just put some lighter shades of green there. Letting the black shine through still a bit. Maybe put a little yellow in there, get a little variation in the color. There we go. Okay. I'm going to take a little of this magenta, a little of this blue, and make it purple again. Change that up a bit. All right. Now I'm going to dry this brush. I'm just going to rub it off into paper toweling or a regular towel, whatever you want. Whatever you choose to use. I'm going to, so it's kind of like a dry brush, so there's no water on this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go down in here. And I'm going to, by using some little motions here, I'm just going to go ahead and make the very outside of that dragonfly, just add a little more tone to those wings. Let them stick out a little. There we go. Okay. And there we go again. So you can see I just have a little, very light amount of paint. And I'm just scrubbing that along with the edge of that little brush that I like. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna go in, do the same on the body here. My little dogs are having fun upstairs. And my poor husband's trying to corral them while I'm doing I think it's more stressful for him when I do these daily dragonflies, because I don't edit out a lot of the stuff that happens. I just let her roll. That's, you know, okay, I'm liking that. I really think that's pretty, and I'm gonna add a little more contrast again here by just smoothing out that one line at the bottom. There we go. Letting some of that fun texture shine through, and then also take a little blue here too, because that'll be fun. I'll just kind of go right along the edge. I don't know, just see what it looks like, just to see what I think. I like that too. Kind of adds a little highlight in the top of the wing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to use some cross hatching motion to kind of blend it and change the direction of that wing. Maybe make the light one, top it a little lighter. And like I said, we are playing, so this, you can see what you like and what you don't like. And yes, I did cover up the other colors below, but that's all right with me. Each day I work on a canvas, always kind of evolves into something new. That's the beauty of having a painting practice. We're going to go back into some of that darker color, bring that back in. There we go. I'm liking that. I like the combination of the dark black line that was there in the beginning and then kind of seeing how this evolves here. I think what I'm going to do here is add a little highlight there to the eyes. There we go. Make them shine a little more. By doing that, you can see that that dragonfly starts to pop a little because I needed a little more contrast from the light and the dark, what was happening between the colors, the warm colors of the lotus and the lighter colors of the dragonfly. There we go. Okay, that made me happy. So I'm going to leave that as that is right now. Clean my brush off. I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to work on this little guy. Notice I haven't changed brushes or anything. I'm going to go back into this bright yellow. I think I might even put a little hint of magenta on there. See what that does for me. I'm going to do the same thing I did down here. I'm just going to kind of, oh, I like that little fiery pinkish. And there we go. If you don't like it, there you see me just wipe it off with your fingertip. That's the fun of painting. All right, here we go. Now I'm just putting on a light coat. As you can still see that fun green line work underneath. But I do kind of like how this is giving me a little more, I don't know, just color variation. I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off there. Go back into my yellow. There we go. I'm going to go into a little white here, because I think this could even be brightened up just a scotch. So I'm going to go ahead and brighten up that body. Add a little white to that wing. There. I like that. Kind of a, now that's, as I'm dancing around the canvas, it's kind of starting to look more and more, you know, using the same techniques, kind of this more painterly fashion. And you can see here, this is still sort of lightly outlined, so we're going to want to hit that again, but I think I'm going to make this one greener, maybe a little blue-green. Get a little yellow in there. Mix up a color I like. I wanted a little darker green so it stands out, but I don't want it to match my lily pad. So let's see what we got here. I'm going to grab some of that. I'm going to grab some yellow. And just go. Now this one I had kind of a magenta and green thing going on. So I think what we're going to do, so this stands out a little more. What color should we pick? Should we put a little more? Not quite sure what I want to do with that. I think I'll go right into a darker blue. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what this does. I'm gonna have to wipe this off. Just a scotch. Got a little too much paint on there for me to control where it goes. So never be afraid of just wiping it off on a towel. All right, there we go. I want a little more contrast, so I'm just adding with little movements, you can see how that starts to stand out from the background. That's all I needed, was just a little help there for our little mayfly friend. And I think I'm going to go ahead and rub that out. I'm going to grab some of that pretty, just light blue. And again, just add a tonal variation into those wings. Kind of pretty, kind of matches, kind of brings back some of that blue. All right. And I don't really feel the need on this particular version of how I'm doing this to put a lot of detail in. I kind of like just the way they feel. And you can see all the brush strokes. I'm really enjoying how that feels and works. So I'm just going to leave it like that. I like that. That little bit of blue really kind of woke up that dragonfly, didn't it? And I'm just putting it, as you can see, in little dits across the way, so you get those little segment feeling. I kind of want to fix this though on this edge. And then I think I'm going to call it a day for the Daily Dragonfly. Well, let's just get this in here. And we're going to try some more fun techniques. All right, I put my brush in yellow, and I'm just going to go ahead and make that little outside line of that bud stand out just a little more. There we go. I'm going to bring in some of that pretty magenta. I kind of lost some of that color in there. Bring it down. Okay. Now this line is like just gonna put a little, just gonna push that back just a little so it's not this big dark. I'm gonna pull that right down under the water. There we go. Okay, well, I think I'm feeling pretty good about that now. I really like how some of these colors, these jewel tones are popping, and you can really see some fun differentiation here and here. So what I've learned is using the contrast and just playing with different, not being at all worried about perfection or brush strokes, or it's just really fun to see what you get when you start using all that texture and yummy layers, and it starts to look really jewel-like. Yay! All right, well, that's it for the Daily Dragonfly. I hope you enjoyed this segment, and I will see you at the canvas. Bye!